Hello, I'm Rick Barclay and I'm with Piano Clubhouse, and today we're going to learn some scales and fingerings in the last grouping of what I call group 3 of the major scales. So let's just dive in. The first one is going to be the key of F, and F major is this: F, G, A, B flat, C, D, E, F. Okay, let's discuss the fingering now on this one. Again, it's a very unique one in that it is different than the grouping 1 and also different than grouping 2 in that because of the makeup, physical makeup of the keyboard and how your hands are and so on and so forth, we don't use the pinky in this one. So refreshing our memory here, with the right hand, thumb is 1, index finger is 2, middle finger is 3, ring finger is 4, and the pinky is 5. So on F we have 1. Then we go to 2, 3, and 4 is going to be the ring up on B flat. Now here's where you've got an awkward tuck. It's a very long shift, if you will, so you really have to move and pivot your hand, as you can see what I'm doing, to hit that C to where you can make it as smooth as possible. D is back to 2, and then 3, and then 4. Notice we're not going to use the pinky. It's only going to the ring finger, 4. So 4, 3, 2, 1. Shift over, a big shift. Not to 3, because if you do to 3, look what's going to happen. Oh, and then you do that. I see numerous people doing that all the time. So you, this big reach over, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, left hand, 5. Remember 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, because it goes from the thumbs out. Okay? So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1. Thumb under, tuck under, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the left hand in the F major scale actually does the same fingering as what is in group 1. So that is what's kind of unique, is that it does one fingering grouping, and this one has its other fingering grouping. So now let's combine them together. I'm going to jump down an octave here so that eventually when we do 2 octaves, I've got room. So let's talk about how we make the crossovers and unders as we do them together. So, okay, now at this point, the right hand does that awkward tuck under. Okay, the thumbs now are together. Now 3 goes over in the left hand. Okay, so now we're on thumb with the left and ring finger with number 4 on the F. Back down. Thumb tucks under for the C in the left hand. Okay, so now our thumbs together, and then here's 4, the big awkward reach. Okay, so let's do 2 octaves now. Now at this point, when you're doing 2 octaves, we have to tuck under with our thumb to the F. So the thumbs are now there. Okay. 4 goes over. Thumb under now. 3 over with the left. Thumb under. 4 over. Thumb under. So here's kind of an odd shift, if you will, big awkward tuck under. So thumbs, okay, thumb under, 4 over. Okay, so there's 2 octaves with that one. Some weird awkward unders and overs with the 4s and the thumbs. Okay, so again, the goal with these scales is to where that we can keep everything nice and smooth as you increase your speed and you're not doing anything awkward. Alright, the next one is the key of B. B is this, note names is B, C sharp, D sharp, E, F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, B. Okay, now notice the fingering on this one with the right hand. 1, 2, 3, thumb goes under, okay, back to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then back down all the way to the thumb. Third finger goes over. 3, 2, 1. Okay, so this is the same fingering grouping as group 1 with the right hand. But what becomes different is that in the left hand, we don't start with the pinky, which is group 1, but we're going to start with the ring finger. 4, 3, 2, 1. 4, 3, 2, 1. Back down all the way to 4. Tuck the thumb under. Again, one of these awkward 4 to 1 moments. 2, 3, 4. Okay? So what's unique about this one, just like what the F major scale was, is that you have a combination of two groupings happening. Right hand is doing the group 1, which we've already learned how to do all that, but the left hand now is doing the oddball out of not 5, but 4. So let me show you how some wrong ways to do this and why we're using 4. So if I start with the pinky, okay, fine and dandy, we make it all the way. But what happens now? Oh, look at that. That's an awkward shift. Especially trying to come back down and going into that. It just, especially whenever you're trying to go fast, you know, it just doesn't work. So that's the reason for using 4. So you can do a quick shift. Okay, now watch this as I go down. I'll use the pinky. Up. Now what are you going to do? Well, see, the note that you got to go to is this guy right here. And so many times I've seen kids do this. You know, that's not conventional and it's very awkward. Yeah, maybe at a slow pace you can get away with doing that and playing all the right notes. But if you're trying to make things happen in a quick, fluid fashion, that's not going to cut it. Okay, so let's put them together. Thumb under, right hand. 4 over in the left hand. Thumb under. 3 over. Okay, good. Now let's go 2 octaves. Thumb under, 4 over. Thumb under. See, that's going to be this 4 to 1 scenario again. 3 over. Thumb under. 4 over. To pinkies and thumb. Wow, we finally reached some normally, so to speak. Thumb under. 4 over. Thumb under. 3 over. Back to where we started. Okay, the last one is G flat major scale. Some people may call this F sharp major. It's in harmonic, meaning the same pitch, 2 different names, but we're going to call it G flat for these purposes here today. So names of the note: G flat, A flat, B flat, C flat, D flat, E flat, F, to G flat. Now yes, I know I land on the B note, but again the inharmonic name for this is C flat, because here's the C, and when you flat C, the half step, when you flat something you drop it down a half step, well there's no black note in between here, so it is the flat of C. Okay, and so on and so forth down to there. Fingering wise now, again, this was kind of a unique one. That's why I put in this grouping of 3 here. Of that, it starts with 2, 2, 3, 4, thumb under, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, when we do 2 octaves, that scenario here on the very end is going to be different. It's not going to go up to 5 when we do 2 octaves. Left hand. Again, what's unique about this is we're going to start with the ring finger of 4. 4, 3, 2, 1. Over with 3. 3, 2, 1. And then the 3 again. Now, if you want to do 4 and keep it consistent, you can, but notice, again, that's an awkward shift. So if we're just doing 1 octave, you know, you can easily use 2 or 3. I typically use 3. Okay, putting them together now. Thumb under, 3 over, thumb under, 3 over. See, and that way, why I do threes is because that way both hands have the same finger on the end, if you will, of one octave. Okay, now let's do 2 octaves. Thumb under, thumb under. Now what has to happen this time is you definitely have to go to 4 with the left hand, or you're going to run out of fingers. Thumb under, 3 over, thumb under, 3 over. Thumb unders. Okay, good. Now let me just show you so that you know why not to use the pinky. Okay, fine. Again, it just kind of makes an awkward, and then you get the thumbs, and usually, see, it's like, okay, now what are you going to do? Well, that becomes very, very unconventional and more of an awkward shift than the 4 to 1. Okay, yeah, you can somewhat get away with it going up, but definitely going down, that's just even more of an awkward shift. And also, kind of another rule of thumb, if I can use that pun there, a phrase, is that usually you want to try to avoid using the thumbs on the black notes. That's not always avoidable. Sometimes you're going to have the thumb on a black note for various different reasons, playing chords and this and that. But when you're doing scales and whatnot, usually when you're playing individual notes, just try to avoid using the thumb on the black notes. Again, because it makes it an awkward shift of how to use the other fingers getting to other notes. Again, the rules are there to sometimes be broken, so sometimes you'll see that you'll have to do that. But for this scale, that's one of the reasons why we have not used the pinky to start the whole thing. Okay, so that's the last group of the 3 groupings of our major scales. Group 3 was F, B, and G flat. And also review, let me just go back real quick. Group 2 was A flat, E flat, D flat, and B flat. And group 1 was more of your sharp keys, which was C, G, D, A, and E. The fingerings of all those kind of coincide with one another, and that there's similarities happening. And especially with group 3, they're all very unique inside themselves. So that's why I put them in their own little unique group. Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed that one, and with anything, if there's nothing that you completely understood and got, always go back and review this and master it. And once you get things going faster, then you really become a master with these scales and can utilize them in soloing and all kinds of different aspects of piano playing. Okay, we'll see you in the next lesson.